Hey everyone, welcome to this Mario Kart 64 150cc no skips race. My name is Jonesy, joined here with, go ahead and introduce yourself.
And this is Weatherton.
So today we got a pretty strong matchup here. We got the top two players in this category, and arguably the top two players overall in this game. Beck Abney and Matthias Rustemeyer. Beck Abney is currently the no skips world record holder. He has a time of 38:37.4, I believe.
Yep.
And Matthias is second place in this category, and he has a 38:37.6. So very, very closely matched here in this category.
I think, Mark, it's worth mentioning that although Matthias's time is slightly slower, the in-game time added up is slightly faster.
Yeah,
so it's really close on this category.
Yeah, definitely. And so if anyone's wondering how that can happen, this game has, I'm sure everyone's familiar with the concept of lag. Basically, this game, the software can basically outperform the hardware or places enough processing strain on the hardware that the hardware simply can't keep up. So there's going to be some lag reduction strats that we'll probably be seeing, and that can actually lead to so essentially the outcome of this category is real time. You want to go the fastest real time. So if the in-game time is slightly slower, but you end up going slightly faster because of lag reduction, you'd still win. So yep.
So we'll see some item usage that will help reduce lag, like dragging items.
That's right. Yep.
Which frankly makes no sense, even as we've continued to look at the game code. By zooming out and looking at more of the game runs faster.
Yeah, so put that in another way, really the way to reduce lag is to zoom out as far as possible. So the game has a built-in mode. There's two modes. There's a zoomed-in mode and a zoomed-out mode. So both these players will be playing in zoomed-out mode by default. And then there's a couple items that you can get, like bananas, banana bunches, fake item blocks, that when you drag them behind you, you'll get even further zoomed out, and that will reduce lag even more. So there'll be there's certain tracks that have more lag than others. So tracks like Calamari Desert with the train, DK Jungle Parkway with the boat, and some of the water effects. DK is actually the worst, so you'll see probably a lot of lag reduction going on there. And Yoshi Valley with the egg and some of the other items on that track cause a lot of lag. So not every track will be as important to use lag reduction strats. It's only some that are really bad. So yep.
And the main category for this game is on the original Nintendo 64 hardware. If you're racing on the Wii version, the IQ version, some of these other newer versions, the lag reduction is not either necessary or as important.
That's right. Yep.
But those have separate leaderboards.
Right. Yeah, because the hardware for the Wii or PC is more than capable of handling the software performance constraints that the game places on the hardware. So. It's also probably mentioned we should, in addition to the 150cc rankings, we should also mention that time trials, which is kind of one of the main oldest run categories in this game. Matthias is actually the current world champion for non-shortcut, which is the equivalent of this category here, and Beck is actually number 3 in the world. So both very, very highly ranked time trial players. Beck is also the shortcut world champion, which is probably a little bit more applicable for skips races, but both very, very talented, highly ranked across pretty much all categories of this game. So have really, really strong runners here today.
Looks like we're about to get ready to start here.
So the timing of the race will start when they hit the OK button and launch into the opening sequence of Mushroom Cup. And you can actually see both players are using the Japanese version of the game. There's actually Noko Cup. We're just going to be referring to things as with the U.S. names like Mushroom Cup. the reason both runners are playing the Japanese version today is that there's a slight advantage in lag reduction on a few tracks in this game. It's really not a big deal. It's basically like a second over the course of the whole 40-minute race, but that 1 second could be the difference. So here we go. Yep.
Yeah, and a lot of the names, as Mark said, I mean, Luigi Circuit on Japanese, US version's Luigi Raceway.
So you see both players got the start boost. They had the CPs in front of them, and they just jumped right over, and no problem there. Both players are going to be looking to get mushrooms here. There's a couple items that you can get on this track that are on most tracks that are kind of really not great, like triple green shells, banana bunches, because you basically, one of the things is you have to figure out, Matthias just got a mushroom here, so he's going to save this for next lap. There's basically one good stream spot on this track, and you're going to expect to see Matthias hold this until the end of lap 2.
That second corner is a smaller corner, so you can cut it better.
Yeah. Abney here actually has 3 green shells, and one of the things that's really bad about 3 green shells is that you can't throw them backwards. In this game, if you fire a single green shell backwards, you're immune to it. So he can't do that. So now those 3 greens are going to be on the track, posing a threat to him. Matthias actually uses a shroom there. He got something called the mystery boost, where he basically ended his shroom on the same frame he hit the wall, and it gave him a little bit of speed boost out of the lap, which saved him about 1/10 of a second there. So great execution by Matthias. Both players getting a boo. Boos basically, in this track, really have no extra value. They basically are just like the equivalent of an extra item box, and with the additional chance of getting, you have basically 20% chance of getting nothing. So, yep. So Matthias is going to take a slight lead here because of that single mushroom, but mushrooms in this are you're gonna expect players to get somewhere between like around 10 to 15 mushrooms over the course of this race, overall 16 tracks. So Matthias with some early luck here, but it'll definitely even out over the course of 16 tracks.
Yeah, the items you get depend, the probabilities depend on what place you are in when you trigger the item itself.
Right.
So it's a 10% chance while you're in first to get that mushroom.
Right.
You will almost always be in first.
So on this track, what you're going to see here, Matthias with another mushroom.
Wow.
Yeah. So what you're going to see here is there's some mole patches on this track, and these players are going to try to take some lines that are going to put them kind of inside the patches, but also on a fairly safe line. Matthias getting a little into the wall there, but you see both players kind of sneaking inside. Matthias gets another great item, a boo here.
Yeah.
You can use boos to actually get through those inside lines of the mole patches and basically guarantee your safety here. So, the other thing to mention is this is a race, so it's a one try. So you're going to see some of these tactics where they're probably a little less risky. So Matthias here kind of basically playing it safe with this boo, although it's also one of the faster things you can do as well. Now Beck with a boo here, so he's going to. We'll see if he takes the first one. No, he goes around 2. So if you're trying to play at maximum risk, you can use the boo on that first mole patch and then try to get a mushroom or something and try to cut even more time. But these players, they're in this race one try scenario, so they're just going to be playing a little bit more conservatively. So both with really fast times. Actually, Abney beat Matthias there by a few tenths, but both really strong times there on this track.
We don't have the input view up here, but each of these in-between races sections, they're going to be holding start and tapping A as fast as they can.
Right.
That's save some time over the course of the run. Actually, a substantial time.
Yep. Yeah, holding start actually makes the point calculation speed up, whereas the tapping A and then tapping A just advances you through the menus as fast as possible. So I think, Drew, you were the one that figured that you tasked that, I believe, right, and figured out the optimal.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, tried all the different options. If you are tasking, it's just as fast to hit start and A every other frame.
Yep.
Of course, that's not reasonable for a real-time runner. So holding start and tapping A is almost just as fast.
Oh wow! So something just happened here. Basically, there's a finish line glitch on this track where if you get the item right before the finish line and you cross the finish line to the right of the finish line, kind of in the water area, you can trigger what's an 8th place item glitch. So the track The game thinks you're a lap behind. So Matthias has got great RNG here. He got a star lap 1, and then a star is the best case scenario. A golden shroom's the second best. He got Abney got bad luck here. He got triple red shells twice in a row for Beck. That doesn't help you at all. So Matthias is going to open up probably a 4 to 5 second lead here because of that RNG there. So very good luck for Matthias. Great execution by both players. That finish line glitch is not easy to get. Both of them got it like 2 for 2. So can't knock the execution. Actually, that was a 6 second. Wow. There. Yeah. So that was a huge gain by Matthias. So.
Let's see if the RNG can go back into Beck's favor.
Yeah, definitely.
The run.
Yeah, the RNG has definitely been favoring Matthias to this point. So what we're going to see here is what's interesting about Kalmar Desert is that there's a train, and the train is basically a constraint on the players. They're basically going to be potentially running into on laps 2 and 3. So. You'll see. It'll be interesting to see if these players try. Oh, Matthias got a ghost. Wow, great again. So you're probably going to see Matthias using the ghost on the train on lap 2. It'll be interesting to see if Beck is going to challenge the train and try to drive underneath it without a ghost. It's a very risky play. I'm not sure if Beck knows he's down, but yeah, I expect to see Matthias. You see both these players dragging items to reduce lag. You'll probably see Matthias using a ghost here. There it is. So that you can see that train's right in his way. And
so will Beck slow down or no?
Yeah, that's the question. Looks like he's going for it.
He's going for it. Let's see this. Oh my goodness!
That is insane. That's so hard to do. Beck is just amazingly good at that, and it's so hard to describe how difficult that is. And now Beck gets a ghost, so it'll still be useful, but he wanted that earlier, so. Yeah.
And you could see it did affect his line going across the train tracks, and he spun out afterwards. I mean, still saved a lot of time by doing that.
Well, the thing is, if you hit the train causes all the lag. So if you hit the train, you're not only are you losing time, in-game time, but you're also losing a lot of time in RTA because of all the extra lag. So Beck's gonna say this is actually a pretty decent pickup still. So he's gonna be able to take a tighter line through this train here. So really, actually, great. Both players getting pretty good RNG here. Matthias got slightly better RNG. Matthias with 724 Mushroom Cup is insanely fast for a one-try race. It's so good.
Players power cycle immediately after finishing the race. That's the rules.
That's right.
Runs. You don't actually get the trophy at that point, but it is just the rules.
Right.
For races.
Should also mention, there's 3 lightweights in this game, and all 3 lightweights are essentially the best choices for this. There's no real difference. So Yoshi, Peach, and Toad are the optimal choices. These players you'll see them picking Yoshi because Yoshi is basically he's the fastest to choose on the character select screen in between the cup resets. It's just, you have to hit down once and press A. For Peach, it's right twice in NA, and then Toad, it's right 3 times. So you got to save those frames. So Toad's Turnpike here, the traffic's in a set pattern, so these players, they're going to be very familiar with these traffic patterns. You'll see them, there's a couple tight spots. Matthias is coming up on one here at the end of lap 1, where you'll have some trucks kind of in the, that's end of lap 2. But there's a couple places where the traffic can get pretty tricky.
If you look at the shape of the track, it goes from 3 lanes for the first half to 2 for the second half, and it can get very tight, as Mark was alluding to.
Yeah, so these players are going to be looking for somewhere in like the range of like 47-second laps. The first lap on the start of the cups are always going to be a little bit slower in general, and then especially for the first track in a cup, because you start in 8th place way back. So if you're looking at the lap splits, you'd expect to see lap 1 on this track about 0.5 slower, and then on the other non-first cups in the track, like the next couple tracks here, you expect those to be like a 10th or 2 slower. Ooh. Oh, Matthias spins out and gets
that's a big.
Yeah, that's about a 2-second time loss. So he's still ahead of Abney. So you'll see here Abney with these trucks right here. This is a really well done there to navigate it. Matthias actually hits another truck. Wow.
Yeah, Beck not only went between, but actually got that mini turbo off, and then Matthias now twice into the cars.
I think actually Abney just pulled ahead there. I think Abney is slightly now slightly ahead. Matthias actually is in. You see, he's in second place now. So in second place, you have a chance of getting a star. It's only 5%, but you have a chance of getting speed items. So Matthias should be able. Oh my goodness, 3 in a row! Wow. So Matthias has to be really careful here that he doesn't rank out. He has to finish at least 4th place in order to pass the cup. There should be no issue if he drives really conservatively, but yeah, kind of a surprising turn of events here. So you can see Abney with those 47 laps. Matthias with laps 2 and 3 got 15:53. So that's like 9 seconds roughly that he lost, maybe 8 seconds. So you know, that was kind of a bit. It's really close now. You know, Matthias got some really good RNG early on, but those kind of surprising mistakes there from Matthias. I think he got the original spin out kind of forced him to press a little bit, and he ended up getting 2 more hits there. So. Basically back to even now. These runners are very close now.
You can see as they go over the water just how different it is. Yeah, maybe 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah, I would say probably even less. I would say probably, I guess, like a second. You see Beck going over the hill there and Matthias going around. Both strategies are pretty close to even in time. Both players getting mushrooms here, so this is a really strong track for mushrooms. It's a really difficult shroom to pull off. They're going to be probably seeing them go for the time trial shroom, where they go left of the snowman patch up here. It's a tricky shroom because you can get stuck out of bounds to the left. If you go too far left, you can actually also get kind of wide into the land in the snowman. So we'll see how they pull it off. Back with a nice shroom. Oh, Matthias actually. Oh yeah, so he actually got on the downs. He got clipped the downhill and it slowed him down, and he kind of sent him into the line of the snowman. So it was a good recovery, but a little bit unfortunate. He lost some time there. So Beck pulling out a slight lead now. I expect these players are both so closely matched in skill. Matisse with another shroom here. That's going to help him catch up. I think that these players are so closely matched in skill that I anticipate a lot of position swaps here as the RNG kind of shakes out over the race. Much better shroom from Matthias there. Doesn't get any clips. Catches up a little bit. Abney's still out to a little bit of a lead, though. Probably within 1 or 2 seconds here. Yeah, about 2 seconds. Great 31 lap there by Abney, and same thing with Matthias. Great 31 laps are with the shroom. That's kind of the gold standard there. So on to Chaco Mountain, another very technical track. This track is kind of dangerous with items because as on the last track, you can kind of, it's open-ended. There's no walls really, so you can kind of fire shells off and without really worrying too much. This track's all closed in, so these players got to be a little bit more careful about how they manage their items.
And so if you happen to get hit or slip off, you could fall off up here. There's no railing on 150.
Right.
Oh, speaking of that, wow, that's a big loss.
Commentator's curse right there. Wow, that's huge mistake. Luckily that happened on lap 1, so Beck's gonna have to contend with these CPUs, but he's gonna have enough time to bring it back. I mean, if that happened on lap 3, it's basically you have to repeat the entire track. So if it's gonna happen,
you have to be 4th or higher to proceed. Yeah,
that's correct, right? So well, that was a big mistake. So you know, Matthias now out.
I think Mark's audio cut out, at least for me. But so if you're looking at what happened with Beck when he fell off, he got too close to the right side of the wall. And in this game, if you get close to an angled wall, it tends to kind of suck you into it, grab onto you. And he was trying to pull away from it. Oh, he hit that fake item box. That's another couple seconds lost. It's a tough race for Beck. Went into this race ahead. Now he's half a lap back. But so he was trying to pull away from the wall because he was stuck on it. And then when he got free, it just threw him off the side. It's really challenging. On to Mario Raceway. This is a very short race. Lots of corner cutting that happens on the grass. It's you don't need a mushroom to cut the corners here necessarily, but it would be helpful to move faster. This is another course where just recently, actually, it was discovered you could get an 8th place item on this course as well in that tube. If you have to do something very specific though. Okay, Beck got, oh, he tried to go through the mushroom and he got stuck. So that's the mushroom cut there is, it's a time trials strategy. You absolutely have to do it in time trials. In a race situation, it may be better to go wide. You don't lose a ton of time. If you do get stuck on the mushroom though, you, as you saw with Beck, can lose considerable time. So let's see if he decides to go through it. No, he went wide this time. Matthias also wide. When you get the triple greens, as you just saw Beck do, you want to be you want to get rid of them, as Mark was saying, in such a way that they're not going to hit you on that lap or the next one. So he shot them while he was sliding. All right, and Matthias already had me power cycled to the second half of the cups. Star Cup. Wario Stadium being the second longest race in the game, behind Rainbow Road. This one you could get into trouble if the CPU's got a lightning. CPUs have the 8th place CPU has a 1% chance whenever they pick up an item that they could get lightning. And if they get it on this course and you get hit at the wrong time while going over the big gap jump, you could lose a pretty big corner.
Hey, Drew, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mark. Yep,
hey,
we did lose you for a little bit.
Yeah, sorry, my internet got disconnected for some reason, so sorry about that.
No problem. So, we're on Wario Stadium.
Yep. So looks like Matthias is out to about a 20-second lead there. So this track, one of the longer tracks in the game, actually the second longest, and pretty technical. Lots of interesting turns. Gonna be looking for like something in the 111 range for the laps. Matthias there with a 111 there, so nice driving. Maybe even 110 for these players.
I think to Mark's point, you watch as they go around a lot of these corners. They know every polygon's angle. They know exactly how that corner is made.
Yep. So both these players with the shrooms, there's actually an ideal shroom spot up here that Matthias is coming up to just around this bend. You'll probably see Beck saving his shroom for the same spot. Matthias with a very well executed shroom. Going a little bit wider on that next turn to pick up an item. He could have taken that a little bit tighter, but choosing to actually fish for more items.
I think we just saw Matthias go through one of his rear shot shells. That was an example of where you can't hit your own shell if you shot it backwards.
Right. Matthias picking up another shroom. Beck with another great example of how to use that shroom. So you can probably see Matthias again holding. There are others. Well, he uses it here, so he's going to keep trying to fish for even more shrooms. That shroom spot he just used right there is slightly slower, but he basically is saying I'm going to keep trying for more here. So he's got one more chance to get a shroom before the best spot here, but he goes inside. So. Beck with 109 lap. Wow, that was a great lap. 109s are very, very rare. I didn't actually see Matthias's lap times, but 109 is really, really high level. Drew, I heard you talking about lightning when I first came on. Did someone get bolted?
No, I just was commenting on this course. If the CPU, if you were very unlucky, you could get knocked off. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
and took the opportunity to talk about how unlikely lightning is, thankfully.
Wow, Matisse with another shroom. Just seems like he's getting a lot of shrooms.
Yeah, he's had very good RNG, absolutely.
Yep. So each shroom, like this shroom right here, is probably going to save about 0.3 seconds, which isn't a whole lot, but it adds up over time. Depending on the shroom spot, like the shroom spot you saw him go over those two big hills, that's probably closer to 0.5. Where in the other tracks, like Sherbert Land coming up next is actually not great for shrooms, but then after the track after that, Royal Raceway, you can get shrooms that can save up almost up to a second. So Beck with two 109s, wow, and a 110 start. That's just really insane driving there for Beck. He probably has to know he has to really press to try to catch up. So
yeah, Sherbet Land, if somebody falls in here, they lose an extra couple seconds.
Yeah, because
the ice freezing.
I would be really surprised if either of them fall in, although I don't want to jinx them. But yeah, it's more you see that more often in multiplayer. But these guys are so good that it would be pretty rare to see them fall in. Although they are, I think Beck might be taking some extra risk here to try to catch up. You take some risk by jumping over these cracks. Good lap times here. You see Matisse with a high 31. You can maybe even see them get into the low 31s, maybe a high 30 with a shroom or two. But yeah, 31-second laps here, kind of the target. The other thing, so the penguins on this track are in cycles, so these guys will know kind of where the penguins are, depending on how fast they're going. Beck taking a pretty risky crack jump there, but makes it nicely. Yeah, but you see Matthias taking a little bit less aggressively on those crack jumps. I think he probably knows he's in a lead. He's got a slight lead here. Matthias being pretty. Oh, he hits the penguin. Yeah, he kind of took that shroom a little bit a little conservatively, and then it kind of threw him off his line. Usually he's going a little bit tighter on that shroom. He used it a little bit early. We'll see if Beck kind of contrasts. Matthias pausing for some strange reason.
Wow, that was.
Yeah.
That's how he hit that penguin.
Yeah, I think he broke off his slide because of the penguin. He knew it was there, so he just adjusted. But Beck's gonna save him. He's gonna gain about Beck with the swag finish. You see really nice consistent laps there from Beck with the mid 31s. So this track, Royal Raceway, lots of shrooms here are really important. You can save up to about a second with each shroom. You'll probably see these guys driving something in like the 46-second range for their laps without shrooms, maybe even 45s with shrooms. So yeah, this is there's not a lot of risk on this track. The only thing really that can just be really super unlucky is if they get bolted here by the CPU before the ramp.
Yeah, there's no way to make it over on this course if you get bolted.
You'll see him here. There's a chance you could bounce landing on this jump. You see Matisse doesn't get a bounce there. You can lose some time with that bounce. There are some mitigation tactics, but it seems to be slightly out of your control. I wouldn't say RNG, but it seems a little bit difficult to control. Beck putting some bananas right down before the ramp. It'll be interesting to see. So you got that bounce there a little bit. Maybe
was that? Looked like it was on the boost.
Beck.
There's lightning. Thankfully, not when he was on the ramp. But
yeah, it was actually if that was a few seconds later, that could have actually bolted him into the water. So unlucky, but it's actually, I guess, could have been worse. But yeah, still very. I mean, just yeah. So you see Matthias, he throws those bananas forward. Matthias gets a bounce there too. Yeah. So I don't know if so we should probably say with the lightning, depending on the situation, it's roughly about a 4-second time loss. So it's obviously could be worse, or So yeah, Drew, you're right. Beck did lay those on the ramp. So we should probably mention that if you're on the zipper, you actually basically have immunity to anything. So anything that's on the ground or lightning bolts, anything. Oh, Matisse with a great. So this is the optimal shroom spot. So Matisse got a last second shroom there and saved him another second. So again, with continued RNG, good RNG here from Matisse. He's made less mistakes than Abney, so it's not like he's winning because of RNG, but he has gotten really good RNG.
Yep. So that boost strip that gives you immunity, it's on this course and DK Jungle Parkway that they have those.
That's right. So you see Matthias, there were some 246s, and then he got a 45 with his shroom. So really good consistent driving there for Matthias. You'll see Beck probably with a low, like a 221 or 2, maybe even worse here. So because he got like a 5-second penalty. So yeah, so 246s, and then he got a 4.5-second penalty from that bolt. So he was actually in the grass, so it was even a little bit worse. So on to Bowser Castle. You get so the big issue here is you have some lag. Oh, but yes, wow, he was very lucky actually not to get squashed there, which would have been like a 10-second time loss. The thwomps here really this is a very technical track, lots of like sharp turns, but also the thwomps, which are on cycles, they can be pose a lot of
some
issues
of them
here.
are some are on cycles, some do chase you when you enter the room.
Right, so that's right. The thing though is that once you get off your cycles, it's really hard to know where the thwomps are going to be. The ones that are on, most of the thwomps that are on cycles. So Matthias is going to have to be really careful here not to get caught off guard. So Beck's he's still on his cycle, so he's going to know where these things are. So that was an example where Matthias really almost got caught there. You see Matthias actually dragging bananas. This is a track that has lag, so Matthias kind of doing some lag reduction. Beck with the boo here. That's a nice. He's going to use it right here. Yeah. So that's a nice little kind of safety thing.
Safety, and he took even a slightly more direct path.
That's right. Yep.
There's a mushroom here.
Yep. So this is you'll probably see Beck use this mushroom through the grass just before entering the castle, the inside part.
Yep. But only corner cut you can do on this. There you go.
Yep. Right.
It's something we didn't mention earlier on. Probably worth just a quick mention on the mini turbo process that you see them just cranking out these mini turbos. And
right.
If you've played the game, maybe not that recently, you might not realize how complicated that is. Each mini turbo is like over 10 steps or somewhere in that range, right? It depends on how you're counting, but
yeah, that's right.
A lot of oscillation. It's a lot of timing, and these guys are very good, best in the world at the mini turbos.
Yep, and that's really where the skill ceiling comes in. Is that this game has it's very, very difficult to play this at a high level. Like these guys are like the best in the world, and so it's really it's hard to describe how difficult it is to drive the way that they're driving. So we should probably mention now that we're on DK. So DK, as I mentioned before the race started, is the worst track in the game for lag. So you see Matthias, he has this banana here. This is one of the items that you can drag behind you that increases your odds, increases your zoom out, which decreases lag. So Beck got a fake item here, which does the same thing, although he ditches it. I'm not entirely sure why he did that. You see Matthias holding this banana. Now he has a shroom. He's going to shroom up the cave and maybe cycle for another one.
Wow,
and just perfect. Wow. Just perfect item RNG there. I'm not entirely sure why Abney ditched his fake item block. Yeah, so there you go. Now he's... Abney actually, he actually has mapped out where the track has the most lag, so maybe he knew that it wasn't needed there. I'm not sure, but now Matthias with another mushroom, just insane RNG. I also say Matthias is taking these jumps a little bit conservatively. Abney is definitely taking a little bit more risk. You see him going through his own item block, which that's that ramp immunity coming into play there. But you see Abney is going left of the item blocks, and Matthias his jumps have been going right of the item blocks. Matthias must know he's in the lead, so he's taking these these ramps very conservatively here. Yeah, so it's still going right of the item blocks there. So yeah, both players now with the dragging the items to reduce lag. Let's see if Matthias gets another shroom. No, he doesn't. So he's actually.
Oh, that's it.
Wow.
So ballsy there.
Yeah, that was.
Beck's really giving it.
Yeah, Beck knows he knows he's He's behind. So actually, one thing, a little small mistake there from Matthias. He can actually hold that item through this ending sequence, and it will still reduce some lag. He ditched it there in the cave, so he's giving away a few tenths. It may not. You'll probably see Beck holding his. Yeah, see Beck. He's gonna hold it through the sequence and actually still reduces lag. So Beck just really he's just trying to eke out every single tenth, that he can to try to catch up.
He just lost the banana there because Mario went into it. Nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, no, that's funny. So you'll see here, YB Yoshi Valley is really another technical track. The path that you see Matthias taking here on the right is actually the second fastest path, but it's the safest because you don't have to contend with the spinies. We'll see if Beck actually presses and see if he goes left here.
That jump Matthias just did is considered non-shortcut.
That's right.
Tradition.
That's right. So actually, what I expect to see now from Beck and maybe even Matthias is depending. So Matthias got a 30-second first lap. I might see Matthias go left here, although if he's going to protect his lead and go right. I would expect to see Beck maybe try to go left.
I'm surprised he wouldn't have done it the first lap, right? Because it's actually, the cycle, the first lap.
Yeah, actually, so the way that it works out is the cycle is better on lap 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you did it.
Yep. And he makes it through clean, so really good. So I expect him to see it go. I expect Beck to do it on lap 3 as well. I expect Matthias to go right, I think. So
so those spinies are on a cycle, but when they move quickly. So if you get there at a little bit different time than you're used to, they can be very different positions than you expect.
Yeah, and the gaps are really, really small, and it's hard. It's really hard to. So yeah, Beck going left again. You guys save another second or so. But he kind of
bounce.
Yeah, the bounce. Yeah, the bounce threw him off his line. It's unfortunate. Good hairpin by Beck. You see Matthias going left in the grass there. It's slightly faster to go down in the grass than going up to the finish line on lap 3. Expect to see Beck doing the same thing. So Beck he gained about three seconds on Matthias on that track. So he's slowly reeling him in. I think the lead's down to about maybe 10 seconds, which it's definitely not something Beck can overcome that. So. All it takes is one lightning or something for Matthias, maybe some chomp hits or something, and it's definitely still. This is the second to the last track, but it's not over. I mean, anything can still happen. And you can see Beck doing a great job of just really trying to doing his best to just take every risk to try to pull it back.
Yeah, so this is the second to last course, and you could certainly fall off here, lose some significant time. The next course, as Mark mentioned, you could hit the chomps, but otherwise you're unlikely to fall off that course.
That's right, yeah.
So if Matthias doesn't make any errors here, it's going to be hard for Beck to overcome.
Well, the other thing to mention is that Rainbow Road is about roughly a 5-minute track. So these tracks on average, they're maybe a minute and a half. Where Rainbow Road's 5 minutes or
true. So if Beck got some good, if he got, I guess it would have to be a lot of mushrooms.
Yeah, that's another thing. So these two tracks, both Banshee and Rainbow, really don't have any not out of bounds, like off-road sections to cut. So mushrooms here aren't really that effective. They're going to maybe save you on about 0.3 to 0.4, whereas something like Yoshi Valley, a track that has a lot of grass to cut, you can save upwards of a second sometimes. So it's where the time, if the time's gonna be made up, it's gonna have to be made up on something something either bad luck like a bolt happening or a big mistake, I think.
Yeah, I think this last corner here, I think it's
great driving.
Going to be difficult for Beck. Yeah, great driving.
Yeah, 33 laps here, mid 33s. It's just really, it's kind of like the gold standard again for this track. So Beck, with
the final shroom there.
Yeah, that shroom's kind of a troll shroom. Really, it's just nothing you can do with that. Saves you a tenth maybe.
So one thing to save time here is the Tran style. Is that?
Yeah, Tran style. That's right. On this first hill, it's faster to actually stick you. Almost a perfect Tran by Matthias. You got a little bit of air there. You want to stick all the way down, So it looks like Abney is about Matthias started at 26, so Abney's about 13 seconds behind Matthias right now. Each chomp hit, if there is a chomp hit, is about 2.5 seconds. So Matthias would have to be either, so bolts are 4.5, 4.5, and chomps are about 2.5. So you would have to see some combination of those where that adds up to 13 seconds, which I find pretty unlikely.
Yeah, it is possible to fall off this course. Unlikely in a one-player versus perhaps.
That's right.
The CPUs do not shoot. You've obviously seen this, but they don't shoot shells, and that would be the way to throw you off the side on this course.
Also, so it looks like these players, just doing some rough math in my head, they're looking at probably like 39. Matthias is looking on pace for like 39.20s, and Beck's looking on pace for 39.30s. So for a one try, that would be better than everyone but four people in the world, basically. So these guys are playing still even with these mistakes. They're playing at such a high level that even a one try for these guys would be good enough to be in the top 5 of the leaderboard. So, and that that leaderboard has over 100 players. So
this is a highly competitive game. Yeah, yes. These guys are just a cut above. You can just see it.
Right.
Great transtyle there, Matthias.
Yep, it went all the way down. And
Matthias gosh.
Yeah, with the boo. Nice.
I forgot he had the boo. That was like, why is he going into that? Oh man.
So Beck with the shroom here, but again, the shroom's probably only going to save him about 0.3 of a second. So he's going to need like another 30 boos. I mean, another 30 shrooms. Yeah.
Strangely, the boos and the red shells are less common than the shrooms.
That's right. Yeah. Shrooms are 10% chance in first place, and then boos and reds are 5% chance. So Matthias with shroom here. You'll actually, let's see. He feeds DK. Good old.
Critical.
It's critical.
I think that's the Jones strat from way back. If I recall.
Yeah, I think I may have been the one to pioneer the feed the DK strat. So right here up this hill, this sharp hill, is that's the ideal shroom spot there. See Abney actually using his shroom early.
I think he's just going for it. He knows he needs 30.
Yeah,
so yeah.
I guess. Yeah, yeah.
Go big or go home.
Right. So I think you'll probably be looking for something in like the 134 range for laps here. I didn't catch Matthias's first lap time. Yeah, 134. So definitely good lap there. Beck with a boo, but yeah, not gonna. Beck with a 133 lap. Beck with a 133 lap was it's a really strong lap there.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And missed the transtyle, unfortunately, on the next.
Yeah, that's the transtyle can actually save more than a shroom can. So it's basically if you miss it, it's almost like not getting a shroom. You can save maybe like 4 to 5 tenths with a proper transtyle.
Way back in the day, it used to be that people thought by jumping at the top that was the fastest. So world records.
Well, so if you the Tran, it's tricky because it's tricky.
I think Mark cut out again. But yeah, the Tran can certainly go wrong in a number of ways, including hitting a chomp or sort of getting stuck in the course. There is risk around it. Going up the final corner here. Matthias on the final straight. Beck on the final turn. Still a very close race for the level of play here. I think it might have come down to that Chaco Mountain turn. We'd have to go back to time that. So a 10-second difference. I think that Chaco Mountain turn was in that realm of time loss. it seemed Matthias got the better RNG on the race. He also had fewer mistakes. Excellent race. So confirming 39:22 would be a fourth place time. The only person who's done better than that is not one of these contenders is Dotman with a 38:49. I'm sorry, 32 people. Dotman and Yoshi Carter. Both of them with a high 38. So Jones's best is 39:50, and both racers came in under Jones today. Jones, yeah, I think we lost you for a minute there again.
Yeah, yep. So actually, yeah, Matthias with a 39:12. So I was a little bit overestimated the times there, but just an extremely high level run there from Matthias, 39:12. That would, as of like 2 years ago, that probably would have been the world record. Yeah, very very strong runs for both players.
Be interesting to go back and add up the in-race times and see if there was more than 10-second separation in the races directly. Who was more effective at lag reduction? Who menued faster, power cycled faster? But regardless, a nearly 40-minute race, 10-second separation. This is a very well executed race. Hey, Beck, Matthias, welcome. Excellent races.
Thanks. It's fun.
We were commenting that both of you finished, your times are good enough for 5th place overall.
Yeah.
For a one-try race. And 10-second separation, a very close race right to the end.
Yeah, I lost the majority of my time on Chaco there, and then kind of hard to come back, but it was still pretty close, even considering that.
Yeah, do you think you lost 10 seconds on Chaco or a bit more?
I had my splits up. I lost about 19 seconds.
Okay, so that was the deciding factor there, yeah. So was that, you got kind of hung up on the right side wall?
Yeah, it's one of those things where I see I'm ahead, and then I'm trying to play it safe, and I start driving weird, and that's what happened. Kind of playing it safe instead of just using my muscle memory. Not the way to go.
I may have cursed you I commented that corner doesn't have a railing on it in 150, and an item or something could send you off, and I think it was moments later you showed us how that could happen.
Yeah, it was all kind of in slow motion. I was like, I missed the mini turbo after the turn. I was like, oh, slow down so you don't get launched off the edge, and I still got launched off the edge. So
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back again. Yeah.
Oh my god, my internet! What the hell? It went down 3 times.
Oh man.
Is it maybe your Wi-Fi? I don't know.
No, I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm on a.
Oh.
No, it's my. I can see it from here. It's my my cable modem is like rebooting. I don't know if it's my ISP doing like maintenance or what, but it's super annoying.
Matthias, are you in here? It looks like you are. I can't hear you.
Yeah, he said he might have mic troubles, so I'm.
Oh, okay.
I'm not positive if he got it to work.
Are we still streaming or no?
Yes.
Oh, we are. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we were joined by Matthias is in here having mic. Oh, he can't hear us either. No, we can't hear you. Yeah. So, but yeah, excellent race. I mean, you showed everyone, both of you, some of the best racing that certainly anyone in the world can do in this game across all 16 races.
Hey, Beck,
came down to one course, really.
Were you that you were behind? I'm just kind of assuming you could guess.
I had it up.
Yeah.
And I was saying that I saw that I was ahead, so I was like, all right, now this is one of those things, and me and Matthias have raced multiple times now,
right.
where it's always you get behind, and it's just like you're now the one that has to make the risks.
Right, exactly.
So I got ahead, actually, and I was ahead on Chaco. I think Matthias hit a truck or something on
he hit 3 trucks on Toast.
Yeah, I saw he almost lost the race or something.
Yeah. He was in fifth on like end of lap 3. He was sitting there in fifth. I'm like,
Yeah. I was like, wow, that's pretty unusual for Toast Airbike.
Seriously.
It was one of those things where I was like, all right, I gotta play it safe, and I just kind of like lose my muscle memory, sort of.
Right.
I'm so used to just driving kind of insane risky on these runs, and I missed a mini turbo going around that turn. I was like, ooh, don't. And I actually let go of A completely, and I still launched off the edge. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed. I think I made the comment during the race that I felt like you knew you were behind and you were taking more risk than Matthias. So like on Yoshi Valley, you were going left on laps 2 and 3. Matthias went right.
Yeah, that Yoshi Valley almost went great for me.
Except that last spiny on lap 3.
I thought I was clear, but I got kind of a quadruple bounce or something crazy.
Right? Yeah. I think we made that comment that the bounce threw you off your line.
Yeah.
I think you still, even with the bounce and hitting the spiny, I think you still saved like 3.5 seconds on Matthias there.
Yeah, the lap 2 was crazy good.
Yep.
Yeah, I was kind of just going for everything at that point. But
one thing I was curious about, so I think on lap 1 or 2 on DK, you had a I
left a fake item and that was just, I haven't played in months. And
okay. I was trying to figure out, I was like, was there a reason?
Yeah, I was about halfway through. I think once I picked up another banana, I was like, wait a minute, I had a fake. What am I?
Yeah.
You did the swag strats though to go through your fake.
Yeah. That was that's kind of what I was thinking on lap 1. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta get these swag strats. So. I think I fed DK on Rainbow Road as well.
Oh yeah, I didn't see you feed DK. I saw Matthias feed DK, and then I saw you end in the water on Timberland. I called that out.
I was quite a bit behind. So.
What was the other one? On DK, Matthias he ditched his fake item or something at the end of lap 3, and I made the point that you could drag it through the ending sequence and still reduce lag.
Yep.
And then you did it, but then Drew pointed out that like a CPU hit you and took away your banana.
I saw that. I was like, all right, well, thanks.
RIP those 2 frames you lost.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how much that going through that end screen with the banana will help.
Right.
And, Matthias dropped his at the finish line.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the cave just before, I think. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else was kind of. I don't know if you saw Matthias, his mushroom cup. He got like a 723 mushroom cup or something.
And I saw he got almost. I think he got a boo before the train on Calamari Desert as well.
He got a mushroom on LR. He got Ghost on Mumu Farm. He got.
It seems insane.
He got Star and then Golden Shroom on KT, and then he got on lap 2 on KD.
Yeah.
So it's just like almost perfect RNG. Yeah,
it seemed pretty insane. I think I got maybe, I was trying to keep track. I feel like I only got maybe 5 or 6 mushrooms.
Yeah,
entire run. It was actually pretty bad.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Matthias. I feel like he definitely made fewer mistakes than you did.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
he did get more shrooms. He got like, I think he got probably over 10 shrooms.
Yeah, I don't. It definitely wasn't enough for me to save
Yeah.
10 seconds, but it's kind of crazy. I did.
Yeah.
I at least got a star after I fell off on Chaco, but that didn't help me too much.
Also worth mentioning the going under the train on Calamari Desert.
Oh yeah, that was really
Yeah,
really
I
good.
spun out immediately, but
Well, yeah. So basically, I made the point that it's super risky only because one, it's super hard to do, but then also if you hit it, not only do you lose the time of hitting the train, but you lose all the lag time as well because the train is sitting there on your screen for like 10 seconds, just like eating the frames.
Yeah, it's pretty bad to miss. I was lucky enough to get a boo actually to go through the last train.
Yeah, I actually thought that wouldn't be as important as it was, but I was kind of miscalculated how much that train was going to be in your way there.
Yeah,
and maybe that's because you spun out on lap
it was
2.
that. I usually beat the train.
Right.
I probably would have just ditched the boo otherwise.
Right. Yeah, definitely. The boo is generally when you're racing that track at your guys' level, the boo is more helpful on lap 2 for that lap 2 train.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you can generally be fast enough to beat the train on lap 3. Although if you do like make a mistake or get unlucky or something, having that boo in your back pocket for lap 3 is helpful. So
yeah, it's definitely nice.
Yeah.
Matthias said he's giving up on the audio. So, but fantastic race, Matthias and Beck. Just very impressive, showing us all how it's done.
Yeah, definitely. So basically, I made the comment that even with some of those mistakes that you guys made, your times would still be good enough to be basically beat everyone, but the top 4 players. So yeah. So I mean, in terms of just doing like a one try where kind of anything can happen, you get bolts, so you can make it. It's very easy to make a mistake on this game. It's when you're playing at such a high level. To be able to one try a 39.12 or 39.22 is actually insanely. It's just crazy. So
yeah, it's pretty crazy how much this category has been kind of pushed since the last few years. It's gotten pretty consistent.
I remember back when I started running. Setting probably a little too risky to attempt.
Yeah, definitely don't want to go for that.
Yeah, we have a finish line glitch on KTB, which saves several seconds. What else do we got? We got the lag reduction strats on DK save a ton of time. Going left on YV with like with the patterns there. So yeah, just there's been a lot of innovation over the last several years, and the fact that I think probably if you guys kept pushing each other, you can probably get under 38.30 with like an insane run.
Oh yeah, I think so.
But the fact that 38.37 is even been achieved is kind of insane. So
yeah.
Yep.
Looks like we might be off stream now.
Looks like we're about to wrap it up. Yeah. So I would say, just thanks for watching. Apologize for my crappy internet connection.
It's been fun.
Great job, both Matthias and Beck, for putting on a good show. Congrats, Matthias, for the win. And that's it for me.
Yeah. Thank you, Matthias and Beck, for a fantastic race and the opportunity to comment.
Yep. So I do have a Twitch. My Twitch is twitch.tv/dntn31. Although I don't stream very much anymore. Weatherton does stream some tasks occasionally. Want to plug your Twitch, Weatherton?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Weatherton. You can find me on Twitch or YouTube, and not a great real-time runner, but I think I'm the only active tasser for Mario Kart 64, and you can check out some of the things I've done there. It's fun to do that and figure out the inner workings of the game.
So since Matthias isn't here, I'll plug his Twitch for him. Well, he's on audio at least. His Twitch is twitch.tv/MK64MR. And then also probably should plug the Mario Kart 64 time trials website, which is mariokart64.com. And then I'll throw it to Beck for his plugs.
Yeah, I'm at Abney317 on Twitch. I also have loud construction going on here, if you can hear all those noises in the background.
Large noises.
Large noises. But yeah, so I'll leave it at that. Thanks for having me, guys. It's been fun.